What's good? Everybody roll in. We're talking about financial literacy during the pandemic. We got my boy Him. He's going to be checking in, Him 500. I'm waiting for him right now. Him's somebody that I personally know. Has helped me out a lot with my credit and knowing how to utilize your credit, especially during times like this. So I'm just waiting for my boy Him to check in.
What's good, bro?
What's up, boss? How you doing?
Man, feeling good, man. So I was telling telling our audience right now, man, what we're going to be talking about right now. Real quick, just introduce yourself for people that might not know.
Okay, my name is Marcus Barney, aka Him 500. What I do is teach financial literacy to entrepreneurs so you can fund yourself through your own wallet.
That's lit, bro. So, as we all know, we're dealing with this pandemic right now, the COVID-19. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people trying to find their way. Talking to you, you do teach financial literacy. What can we be doing right now, bro?
That's one of the biggest things we've been working on is the fact that a lot of people don't know how to go out and capitalize off their credit while people are losing their jobs, right? And so in the meantime, it's like this is the time where people should be, taking advantage of their credit so they can have that security blanket.
Okay.
Right. So they can have a security blanket because a lot of people getting hit with, child care, things like that they weren't expected, as well as having to survive, not go to work for those, especially entrepreneurs. Like we get hit the hardest because, our business isn't functioning. Right.
Yeah. Keep going, bro.
So what right now, like I tell people is this, it's certain cars that you can get now that have 0% APR. So that way you can just take advantage of, having good credit and you can actually utilize these cards with 0%. You have, you're not paying interest in the meantime until we get through this pandemic.
Now, wait a minute. So you talking about cars. I'm sorry, somebody's out here backing up. I don't know if you hear a beep. You're talking about getting credit cards, and
Okay.
I feel like that's the last thing I feel like people will want to do, especially during these times. So talk about the importance of finding the right credit card and which ones to look for, because I'm telling you, I would be afraid if I just lost my job and everything to be going out to seek a new credit card.
And so, okay, that's perfect. Good question, right? And what it is that sometimes I think a little more advanced, so maybe I need to explain it in a smaller, on a lower level. Rewards, it's a lot of things that come with the rewards. So a lot of people don't know when you have good credit or you get credit cards, they give you reward points, right? You can turn those reward points into cash. So like the cash that people are currently spending, imagine paying your bills and then you make $250 for paying your bills.
Okay, off the
You get
rewards.
me? Off the rewards, right? Somebody said that I call them dumb. No, what I'm like, it's just on the reward on using credit cards on the way that we can actually use them.
Now, somebody
Right?
seen asked which credit cards have 0% interest. I think that's a good question.
Give me 1 second. Does this let me? Will this allow me to throw a pickup? It won't, huh?
It should. I see a lot of people do it. It should.
Okay, it's not allowing me to do it. But you got the Chase Freedom right now has 0% APR. The
Chase Freedom
American
card.
Chase Freedom card, the American Express Blue Cash Every Day, and the American Express Everyday card all have 0% APR right now.
All right.
And you
Wow.
also can get a copy of your credit report for free in the meantime.
And how would you do that? You said you get a copy of your credit report for free. Do you get that through applying for these certain credit cards you just named?
No, Experian is actually giving your credit reports free once a week.
Say that again, man, for everybody watching, man. Show them how they can get their credit report for free right now.
Experian. Go to Experian.com. You can actually get a free copy of your credit report.
Okay. And a lot of people, we want to work on our credit. A lot of times we don't know where to start, right, Him? What are like maybe the top 3 things that lower your credit score that we might all be facing?
Top 3 things that's lowering people's collection accounts. Um, collection accounts. And so what a lot of people don't know, right, is that it's illegal. Like everybody's aware that we hear people say it's illegal for collection companies to purchase debt and you don't have a account with them. So you don't owe them anything, but they're reporting on your credit, right? You can actually look up junk collection buyers, right? You can look up junk collection buyers and see a list of accounts of people who just buy junk collections, right? When they do that, you can literally report them to the Better Business Bureau and get the account removed. Right? A lot of people don't know that you can report collection companies to the Better Business Bureau to get those negative accounts removed.
So I want everybody, because sometimes you be saying some stuff and I think you go over people's heads. If you have a collection report on your credit
with certain accounts, right? So if you guys
accounts,
look up junk collection accounts, junk collection account buyers, right? You can find collection companies that buy junk accounts, meaning they just buy a whole bunch of debt and they report on people's credit. But
and that's not, and they're not allowed to do that, right?
No. So when you file a complaint with them against the Better Business Bureau, when they do the investigation, a lot of times they don't want to go through the process, so they remove it.
So right there, that bring your score about 70 points right there. If you do it right.
Yeah. And so also different kind of collection accounts, I tell people all the time, is that there's companies that report the negative information. So when it comes to looking at negative accounts on our credit report, there's companies like SageStream for you guys listening, SageStream, LexisNexis, ARS, Innovis, right? These are companies that validate the information on your credit report. Right?
Wow.
So these are the companies that when you send in a dispute letter, they go, well, how did it get validated, right? How are they validating it so quick? These are the companies that's actually validating the information. So these companies hold data that validates, okay, make sure the information matches up to validate that it actually belongs to you.
And they're asking, is this nationwide? This is nationwide, right?
Yeah, this is nationwide.
They have to respond within 30 days and then move it. Okay. It's a lot of people also helping, giving, the people that's watching, giving some game. So that's good. So one thing you said is the collections. What's another common thing that holds people credit back? Because our goal is to get to good credit and then learn how to use that credit to make it cash, right?
So I'm gonna go a little bit deeper on the removing negative, and then we'll jump up on to things that they can do to build. So when it comes to after you opt out of these companies, right? Let's say you opt out of SageStream, LexisNexis, ARS, Innovis, you opt out of these companies. That's when you want to go ahead and do a dispute. A lot of people don't know what dispute letters to use. So I recommend you guys all use like a 609 letter. Use a 609 letter for a dispute letter. That's going to expedite the process of getting things removed. So if you opt out of those secondary agencies and then you send in a 609 letter, that's the dispute letter that you want to run with.
And guys, if y'all didn't take anything away from this, look up the 609 letter and start from there. That's the letter you want to use for disputing, because sometimes we talk of finances and stuff, people's minds get scrambled, they get confused, they get lost, and some people are afraid to ask questions. I know I was a guy in school that always would ask a million questions to make sure I get it. So make sure y'all pay attention, get the 609 letter.
Yeah. And so then one of the main things, the other things that people look at is like positive accounts, right? Is like, how do we build positive accounts? And a lot of times people look out and they go, okay, there's companies out there like Rent Reporters, Rental Karma, right? And what these companies do with Rental Karma, Rent Reporters is that your tenant, most people's landlords don't report their rent to their credit report. So what you can actually do is get your rent reported to your credit report, which will give you a positive accounts. When you get those positive accounts in your credit report, it'll backdate 2 years. So it'll actually boost your age of your credit report up at the same time. So now you'll have a new positive account, and it'll give you 2 years of positive age.
Wow. So just to recap that, when you're paying rent, a lot of times the landlord or whoever you're paying rent to doesn't report it to the credit bureau. Is that what it's called? So if you're paying your rent on time and they're not reporting it, that's something you can use to boost your credit that might not have been happening yet. In LA, I know they do that. It's like a super serious thing, but I don't think when I was in Philly, the person I was paying rent was doing that.
Yeah. Most people not.
Give them the game, Ham. They don't understand this. You giving the game for free today. Give them the game.
If you know somebody, let's just say you go, okay, people deal with bad credit, finances, and shambles, especially things that's going on right now. You can have somebody that owns a property do it for you just to put that on your credit report. And you can use 2 accounts instead of using just Rental Karma. You will use Rent Reporters and Rental Karma. You will have 2 positive accounts in your credit report with 2 years of positive history. This is some of those data points that we need to get to that the banks look at before you go and apply for credit. Also,
Now, I think people are confused. I don't mean to cut you off. They're saying, do you go to the person you're paying to do that? And you just said the places where they can report it. So can you just say those places where you can report it again for that to show up in their credit?
Rent Reporters and Rental Karma.
Rent Reporters and Rental Karma, y'all.
But
see, him been doing this for so long, he speak fast. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. Listen, I got a bad habit. I talk real fast. But those companies, you go to those companies, open up an account, and give your landlord information. They contact the landlord. So that's how that process works. Okay. And then another way is that a lot of people tell people to get secure cards, right? See, we're looking at one, and the reason I say this is because right now we're in a pandemic, so we got to expedite things, right? So when we're trying to expedite, people say secure cards, but they don't understand is that if we're going to go out and obtain credit cards to get capital, because, honestly, they don't give us loans. Business companies, I mean, as new businesses, they won't give us loans. So we want to be in a position to go out and obtain credit. We want to be able to go out and obtain credit cards. So what I tell people is this. I say, listen, go get a secured loan, right? Let's say you take $1,000 and you go to a bank, you put it in a savings account, you get a secured loan instead of getting a secured credit card, because we also want to have a mix of accounts. We don't want, only credit card accounts or trade lines on our credit report, right? So we go into the bank and we go get a secure loan. Put our $1,000 in a savings account. We take a loan against it for $1,000. Well, when they give that back to us, now they charge us 1%, and we basically borrow our own money and pay it back, right?
You have to say that again. Oh, wait. You're going to have to say that process again.
Okay.
So you went to the bank. You have $1,000 to put into the savings account.
Yeah.
But at that same bank, you took a secure loan out for $1,000, right?
Against your $1,000.
Against your
own money. Yeah,
it's your own money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like a secure credit card. You get a secure credit card, you give them the $300, and they give you a credit card for $300.
Okay.
It's the same thing with the loan, right? So you put the loan in, you get a loan for $1,000 against your own money. So they basically give you your money back, and now you need to pay it back, right? At 1%, you can drag it out for however long you want, but now you have it looks like it's a loan on your credit report, right? So, but the thing is that when you run with the secured loan, they give it back to you. Take that money and go to bank number 2 and do the same thing. Repeat the process at bank number 2. Then go to bank number 3 and repeat the process again with the same $1,000, right? Now you got 3 positive loans on your credit report, right? Now you got 3 positive accounts reporting every month, giving you 3 new payments. You get what I'm saying? And then you're going to go back, pay bank number 1 off. They're going to give you $1,000 back. You're going to go pay off bank number 2. They're going to give you $1,000 back. You're going to go pay off bank number 3. But now you had 3 positive accounts. Now you got 3 paid off accounts, all to the good. So now
wait. I hope they're paying attention. I hope y'all are paying attention. Him 500 is on fire right now. On fire. Listen. Trying to get y'all credit right, man. I hope y'all paying attention. I don't mean to do this, man, but break it down again, because I know sometimes when I hear stuff, I won't admit when I don't understand. You went to bank number 1, you put $1,000 in the savings account, you took a secure loan out for $1,000. Then you went to bank number 2, did the same thing, started a new savings account, took another secure loan. Went to bank number 3, put $1,000 in from that last bank, took out another $1,000.
Yeah.
When it comes to paying that back, break that part down.
So you're going to go pay off, right? So you understand now you have a monthly payment. It's all the same $1,000. You just did it 3 times. So now you're going to go back to bank number 1 and pay it back, right? But see, the thing is this, you can let the minimum payment go for 6 months. And then when it's time to pay it off, you're going to go pay bank number 1 off, right? Once you pay off bank number 1, they'll put the money back into your savings account, right? So now you pay the loan back off. Now once that clears, you go and do the same thing to bank number 2. Pay it back off. Once that clears, go to bank number 3, pay that off. Once that clears, you got your $1,000 back, but you also have 3 positive accounts on your credit report that are primary based off of your social security number. So these aren't like your trade lines and authorized user accounts that are based off of somebody else's history and you're just piggybacking off of them. You got me?
I got you. I just want to make sure everybody's following along, because you're giving out that game. I'll make sure it goes over nobody's head. You know, we're in a time where people need this information. We need to know how to maximize and get our credit to a certain point. Now, these are tips to build your credit. There's some people in here saying their credit is a 710, their credit is this and that. Once you have good credit, what can you do now to utilize that good credit to make money? Because people tell you to get good credit, but they don't tell you what you can do with it once you have good credit.
So once you have good credit, right, especially entrepreneurs, right, I want to go in on entrepreneurs because I think we're being forced into entrepreneurship right now. Right. I think we're being forced into entrepreneurship because now we're looking at the job markets and the way things are crashing and the fact that we don't have control over our income. I think more people now so than ever realize that they need to have control over their income, even if it's just a side business. Right. As an entrepreneur, one of the things that you need right now is mandatory. Everybody that I work with, all my clients, I make sure that they get a Gold American Express card. Right? It's not as hard to get as the platinum, but you do need to have a solid credit report. You can go and get the Gold American Express card, right? Now, in today's society, majority of businesses operate some kind of way with the internet when it comes to like running ads and things like that, right? Boom, right? So listen, with the Gold Amex, right? What you want to do is that you want to run ads with that card because they give you 4 points per dollar. Right? So now you get 4 times the points per dollar whenever you run ads on Facebook. Right? So now imagine this, right? Imagine that you have a product, and now in order for you to get clients, you're going to use your credit card to go and run ads, right? So now I'm borrowing the bank's money to get clients, right? So as long as my business is profitable, let's just say I got a $10 profit margin on each client, right? So I'm gonna make $10 off of each client I attract. Well, I'm gonna use the bank's money to go to get clientele running ads, and they're gonna give me 4 points per dollar. Where it gets good at is that the 4 points per dollar, you can convert that into cash and make that start paying for your materials. See,
now, see, you about to start getting 4 points per dollar. So that means every dollar I spend using ads as an entrepreneur on Facebook, they're going to give me 4 points. How do I make those points into cash? Because I feel like we all know, you get rewards points and all that, but how do you now turn those points into cash?
So once you have the points, right, you can use those points to cover purchases at the max amount, right? You could turn it out and cash it out, but it won't be as much as you'll get if you do it to cover a purchase. So whatever your product is, what I would recommend is that you take the points and cover the purchases that you make when you buy your product. Or when your materials, right? Whatever it is that you have to fulfill for the sale that you made. Like, let's say it was books. When you go and you do the purchase for your books now, you run the ads, generate the clients here, use the points to help pay for the book. So that way, not only are you using other people's money to get your clients and build your brand out and build awareness, you're using the credit card company to actually pay for your product. So now that $10 profit margin almost turns into $12 to $14 profit margin.
Because now you're using the points that you got from running your ads using the credit card. I just want to break it down for everybody. I use my credit card to buy points. To buy ads. In return, because I bought ads on Facebook, the credit card rewards me with 4 points every dollar.
Yes.
I can then use those points to buy my supplies for my business, not using my own cash, all coming from this card.
Yes.
We gotta slow it down for some people, because a lot of people, man, you know, they running away from credit cards, or they owe so much in credit cards. They're like, man, I'm not touching it. So it's good that you're breaking this down and help us understand how to utilize the points.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna break something down, right? When it comes to American Express, that I have my wallet on me, so I got some of my cards on me right now, right? So like every card has a different responsibility, right? So now when it makes sure my card numbers ain't showing, I'm on Hollywood Unlock and be exposed. So this card here, this is my basic level, entry level card, right? So since this is my entry level card, what I do with this is I actually gain income from it, right? So I make an income from this credit card. The reason how I make an income from this credit card is like this. Like, let's say people go out, and I just gave you guys blueprints on how to add positive accounts to your credit report, right? How to clean your credit report, how to add positive accounts. But then people do use trade lines to boost their credit, right? So let's just say, you know, I'm dealing with a client and somebody needs to add trade lines to their credit report. They go, okay, I got all my solid accounts, but I don't got no credit cards on my account, right? What I'll do is add them as an authorized user on this card, because it's the entry level card, right? I add them as an authorized user on this card, and my limit on this card is $30,000. But I had this American Express card for 9 years. Now they're going to get a $30,000 credit card on their credit report, and 9 years good. 9 years history. Not this card. Nope. They'll get the credit limit here, but American Express doesn't report history, right? Let me see.
So you're telling me,
I don't got my city.
All right.
I'm gonna get well.
So
let me.
Yeah. So, but what you're telling me is,
Mhm.
I have a credit card, right?
Mhm.
I pay my credit card every month. I'm in good standing. I have good credit. I can add somebody to my credit card, and then they reap the benefits of my credit.
Just on their credit report, right? Because what it's set up is like this. This is how it was set up and designed for. It's for parents to do it for their children, right? So what happens is that, you know, when you have good credit, right, and your son come about, he turns 15, right, and you go, okay, listen, I want to add my son as an authorized user on my card. I've been paying for this many years. Let me, you know, this reflects on his credit report now. And you can add them at like 12 years old. This is how we like pass the ball down, right? So what people do is then they'll add people to their cards. You do it with you. This is something that you can do with people you know, or if you build a business out, right? You add somebody on as an authorized user, that whole history goes on their credit report. So I usually tell people, listen, if you don't want to have to pay for it, ask grandmother, go ask your auntie, your uncle, a parent. That's going to give them that history on your credit report. So now you have 5, 10, 15, 20 years of good history, and you have a large line of credit on credit cards on your credit report. If you can't, you can always go find people to buy it from. So with me, we have a service where I learned which banks to use to actually sell my trade lines to people and don't give them access to my credit card. So I would charge someone like $650, and then I give them the blueprint on which cards to go out and apply for, and they may go out and get 80 to 150,000 in lines of credit.
But it's all based on you adding them to your credit line first, to your trade line first.
All the steps that we went through, rental karma, rent reporters, you know, secured loans, all of that comes into it when it comes to building out a profile. You need to build your profile out.
I see a lot of y'all got questions. Y'all got to follow at him 500, man. Follow him. He do lives all the time. I always check in and get some knowledge. So if you're not catching up right now, it's cool, because he does go live often and he gives some game. And also, man, like, you know, pay attention, man. It's a pandemic right now. It's the best time to take this energy and this free time we have and be more financially literate. So thank you. I really appreciate him dropping these jewels. What else you got for us, bro?
Somebody just asked about a hospital bill. A lot of people don't know hospital bills don't go on your credit report because you don't qualify. You didn't put your social down. When you go to a hospital, it's not based on your credit. So hospital bills, it's illegal to put hospital bills on your credit. You just need to go out and dispute it. And it's actually a HIPAA violation for them to report hospital bills to your credit report.
So a hospital bill should never be on your credit. That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, no, you can get the hospital bill off. It's a
And
HIPAA
to
violation.
dispute it, what's the form you said to use?
Your HIPAA, you go through and do a HIPAA violation.
HIPAA violation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just slowing it down for everybody. Make sure y'all write this stuff down. Take notes. Take notes.
Got you.
That's a gem right there for a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people are right now dealing with ambulance bills. That's the one that gets you. You go call an
Yeah.
ambulance, now you got $1,200 in your credit, and you trying to figure out how to get that off. But you said it's a HIPAA, not a
Yeah.
HIPAA violation?
HIPAA violation. Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. See, this is the type of things that we got to know. Like, honestly, like where I stand at is like, I help people with financial strategies. So when it comes to things like credit repair, I feel like a lot of people hold that information back from our community.
Yeah, they
Right.
do.
And so I think that that's the reason why, like, I'm willing to get on here and just give people the information, because people need it to, like, this is holding a lot of people back, because a lot of people may have one negative thing on their credit report. And once they get that off, they can go out and get credit cards that can help them grow a business, that can help them, take care of their family, to have a security blanket. Because if we don't, am I frozen? No. Okay, I'm good.
No, I see
If
it.
we don't, okay, if we don't have, a lot of us don't come from trust funds. So if we don't have trust funds in place, we need some kind of security when things get rough. We need something in place for hard times. And that's the reason why I tell people, listen, at least leverage your credit to take it to the next level.
Now, somebody said when you sign the papers at the hospital, you waive your rights. Is that true?
No, that's not true.
Somebody says, how do you remove several inquiries from one car dealership? Damn.
So when it comes to, y'all can get me, I'm finna go deep. We might not be able to leave this live, but when it comes to hospital bills, to car dealerships, right? A lot of people go through that, and they're unfamiliar with the fact that credit bureaus are privately owned companies. So when you go to file a complaint, they don't really care to protect you, right? They're privately owned companies. So what we want to do is go into you can file a complaint against the credit bureaus, right? There's a company called Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is CFPB, right? CFPB, that's Consumer
Write this
Financial.
down, y'all. Write it down.
Yeah, definitely write this down. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. What they do is they're the government regulated company they're the government regulated company that regulates the credit bureaus, right? When you file a complaint against them, they're going to go down on the credit bureaus, right? And that's going to enforce the credit bureaus to remove the inquiries because you didn't authorize them. So file a complaint with Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You can file it against the credit bureaus, and you can file it against the companies. And if the companies violate and you didn't authorize those inquiries, they can actually charge the companies a fine for every inquiry, like $11 per inquiry that wasn't authorized.
Look, y'all, this is him 500. He's giving y'all the game. He's giving y'all the game. Make sure y'all follow him 500. Make sure you always put an alert on there so you know when he's posting. He's always giving out game. He's always trying to help our community. This is information you don't learn in school. We're privileged enough that this man mastered a lot of this stuff and can spit it back to the community for us to know it. That's why I keep telling you to slow down him, because this is like second nature for you now. Like, this is your language now. But some of us are still trying to figure out the HIPAA thing. So that's love, bro. I want us to be able to keep this live up, so I don't want you to share too much stuff where you feel like.
Nah, we good. We can leave it up.
Okay.
So the goal is right now, what I'm looking at is that everybody has to go into entrepreneurship, right? And as we start, we don't know what cars to use, right? People don't know how valuable that Gold American Express is that's going to pay for your ads. You have to go out and attract clients, period, right? And right now, that's the best way to do it.
No, that's game.
Yeah,
so
I wish I could share my screen. I would go a little bit deeper. What are you gonna say?
No, just real quick, just to recap, and we're going to be sending everybody to your page, because I'm sure after this, everybody's going to have more questions. Your DMs are going to blow up. You might have to do another live right after this. What's another credit card you suggest? Now, you said the Gold American Express. I believe you said the Chase Freedom card has 0% APR.
Yep.
What was another one for some people that just tuning in right now?
So for people entry level, right? I'm gonna give you guys, like, you guys can
Entry
get
level.
money from Navy Federal, right? I got people
Navy
at
Federal.
640. I got people who got a 640 credit score getting $25,000 credit cards um, from Navy Federal, right? What happens is a lot of people, you have to be in the military, so a lot of people didn't know how to get a Navy Federal. Well, what we figured out was, and this is strictly for you guys, this is strictly for this community, I'm not supposed to probably even say this publicly, um, is that people figured out that, listen, if you had a grandparent that was in the military and the grandparent passed away, you won't be able to find his numbers. They'll let you in Navy Federal, right?
Look, if y'all ain't pick it up, y'all ain't pick it up. He gave you the game right there.
hmm So you can actually get into Navy Federal, and by having a grandparent, a deceased grandparent who was in the military, and they'll let you in Navy Federal.
There it is. So Navy Federal, man, definitely. I just applied for Navy Federal, so that's.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want y'all to know, man, this ain't just a random interview. I follow these dudes' steps. You see the credit cards he talking about, I got. I just
hmm
applied for Navy Federal, so make sure y'all follow him 500. Him, I'm not saying this to cut you off. Do you have anything else to say?
Really, for everybody that's out there, we can also follow me and tune in. I'm doing something special for entrepreneurs, teaching them in depth. I'm doing a workshop on this Thursday at 8 p.m. I'm doing a workshop, and I'm going to shoot you guys a flyer so you guys can share it. But I'm doing a workshop that's going to teach entrepreneurs more in depth which credit cards to get, how to use them with ads, and like how to set everything up, what systems to use, and really, how we can almost get free products off of leveraging credit as an entrepreneur.
And you
So
said this workshop is going down Thursday?
this Thursday, yeah, it's called I Am an Entrepreneur Workshop. And so I'm going to be breaking down, like I got a 15 credit card sequence where I teach people how to get 15 cards with only 4 to 5 inquiries.
Wow.
Yeah.
This Thursday. So make sure y'all follow, man, at him 500. I'm at the real DJ Damage. That's it, bro. Make sure you follow him. He said he has a webinar going down, workshop this Thursday. Make sure you
Yes.
signed up for that if you're an entrepreneur. If you're not an entrepreneur yet, you're an entrepreneur anyway, because you need to be working for yourself. That's what we're about.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate
Yes,
you, him, man. Thank you for for giving us your time, for real.
most definitely. I appreciate you guys having me, sharing your platform, just to empower the people. So, it's much more on the internet that we can do to kind of push each other. So that's what it's about. And I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely, man. One love, bro. So that's it right there. Make sure y'all follow him. Any questions y'all got, go to him. No pun intended.
Yeah. All right. You have a good one, boss.
All right, bro.
All right.